Good morning. we have some technical difficulties. Welcome to Caffeinate Your Career. Today's topic: tips for your first day at your new job. I am your host, the career coach with the most, Jason Hopper. With me today is the completely cool community liaison, Jill Takamoto. Jill.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So glad to be here, Jason. Thanks for inviting me.
I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
I am checking to see if we are going live. And let's see. So while I'm doing that, guys, just so you all know, you will be getting a new job. At some point, you will get a new job. You just will. And so, okay, we are live. And thanks for watching. Good morning, Monica. Good morning, Allison. Okay. Thank you for that feedback, Monica. So you'll be getting a new job. Everybody will be getting a new job at some point.
Yep.
So long as you have a process and you are working your process, you get a new job. But starting work, it can be frustrating. It can be nerve-wracking. It can be exciting.
And stressful. Yep.
So that's why we're doing this topic today, because you want to be prepared for your first day at work.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So I think the first thing is you want to make sure that you are dressed appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hopefully you've already learned a little bit about the culture, so you kind of know like how you should be dressed.
Right.
But you can always ask your manager like what you should wear. You want to make sure that you're in line. If you don't know how to dress, Jill.
Right. Then I would err on the overdress side,
Yeah.
right?
Of course, because you could always like take a jacket off or take a tie off or whatever. But like you want to make sure that you are going to fit in on your first day.
Right. And maybe during your interview, you were able to tour the facility or see the offices, maybe even meet a few people during your interview. And so you can kind of look around and you got the feel of what the attire might be.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's important. Here, working here.
Right.
Well, so today, both Jill and I have our JFS shirts on, mostly for the podcast, but I'm also doing a presentation later this evening at the workforce in Plano. And it's always just good branding.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
But when I'm not in my JFS t-shirt, I am wearing like a button down or a polo and jeans, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Because the reason is I want to make sure that my clients are comfortable when they come in to see and talk with me.
Right.
I don't want them coming in thinking, business.
Right.
Because I want them to be comfortable and trust me.
Right.
So for your first day, make sure that you're gonna dress like correctly and how you should, right?
I think too, dressing for your position,
mm-hmm.
right? So being a community liaison, I interact with a lot of other organizations and other community members. I also teach an English class. And so I tend to dress, I never wear jeans, just not my thing. I always wear slacks and covered shoes and, but it's because I'm out and meeting different community members and trying to get them to use our facility.
Yeah.
So in my position, I feel like, that's how I should be dressing. So.
Well, but that fits you.
Absolutely.
You're right. It's you want to make sure that you're dressing for the position, like the position that you're going to be doing.
Yes.
Right. Also, too, I think it's important that it's your first day that you are on time.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So important. Plan ahead, right? We live in Dallas. We live in Texas. Traffic can put you over the edge.
Yeah, for sure. I think like I suggest, and you, much like me, do not like to drive.
Oh my gosh, I hate it.
It's the worst, right?
Yes.
I do too. And also too, I'm directionally challenged, so I get lost.
That's why we connect, Jason. Yes.
So I go like the same way back and forth to work.
Yeah.
But like it's your first day, guys, you don't know if there's going to be traffic. There might be an accident on the tollway.
Yes.
You never know. So I suggest that you make sure that you're early.
Yep.
Being early, not like super. They'll be like an hour or so early, but like in fact, like my first day here, I was told to be in at like 9 o'clock because that's when we start work.
Yep.
And I was here probably about 8:30.
Yeah.
And I just hung out, like in the parking lot, and then like 10 minutes before 9, I walked into the building, said, "Hi, I'm starting work today."
Right.
You know.
Oh, who was the famous coach, Jason? I don't know if you know, but he always said, if you're 10 minutes early, you're late.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it, but I did the same thing on my first day. I came about 30 minutes early. I just sat in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And I just watched people go in. And when I saw, I think it might have been you, walk in, I packed up my things and I walked in.
Let's go in.
So,
going in. Yeah.
No stress. I knew I was going to be on time. So, yeah, you definitely want to be on time on your first day. Every day.
Yeah.
But definitely on your first day. How about attitude, Jason? Your attitude on the first day.
Attitude is everything.
Yes.
And on your first day, for sure, you want to make sure that you're going to be positive going into it. Nobody wants to work with the person that's going to be just in their office with the door shut all the time and not interacting with people. You got hired to be part of the team,
right?
And you want to make sure that you have that positivity,
right,
and excitement. It's like you're starting a new job today. It should be very exciting.
Yes.
Right?
Smile on your face. Exciting,
That's
right?
It. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So this is a big one, and like when you go and you show up, you want to make sure that you learn people's names, especially if they're going to be on your team, guys. Right? Like and it's funny. Especially when I was a recruiter, right? Because I would call people up and do phone screens. And then, like, at the end of it, they were like, "Okay, thanks, James." And I'm like,
right.
I said, "My name is Jason."
Right.
So, tips for remembering people's names.
Okay, before we get into that, Jason, I have to compliment you because you are amazing at remembering people's names. I remember the first week I started here, and anybody who walked in, you knew them by name, addressed them by name, and it was impressive. It really was. You did an amazing job.
It's important.
Yes.
Because our names are part of our identity.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you get that right.
Yes.
And so, and thank you. And also, Jill, by the way, I make it a point to make sure that I know everybody's name. And then I have, it's not a trick, but how I learn people's names is I associate the person with something specific to me. Okay. So we have a new director of clinical children's services.
Okay.
Right? Her name is Beth.
All right.
Here's how I learned Beth's name.
Okay.
Because the first time I was introduced to her, I'm like, I don't. But after that, because it's important. So there is a song by the rock group Kiss.
Okay.
And the name of the song is Beth.
Okay.
And the chorus or the hook on the song is Beth, what can I do? So the song is basically Gene Simmons is out with rehearsing with the band, right? And his wife wants him, or his partner wants him to come home, right? So Beth, what can I do?
Okay.
So every time I see Beth,
you hear Gene Simmons.
Every time I see Beth, I in my head I'm like, Beth, what can I do? But that's how I remember her name.
Okay, that's a great strategy.
But like that was just for Beth. But like over the years, like there may be like somebody that is like I met somebody once, and he kind of looked like his name was Malcolm, and he kind of looked like Nathan Fillion, who was an actor that was in the TV show Firefly, and that character's name was Malcolm. And so I just kind of like associated that, and that's how I remembered his name.
Okay.
So guys, to help you remember people's names, think about something that is personal to you that you can relate it to, so that you will not forget it.
Jason, that's a great strategy. So what I do when I start a new position, and I've been in my position for just a little over a year, but meeting new people, I would talk to someone and I would repeat their name over and over and over. And then when I got back to my office, I'd write down something that he or she said, and I'd try to make a connection. And then the next time I saw that person, I'd say his name or her name. And 9 times out of 10, it works. I'm going to try your strategy.
Right. That's funny. There's a movie with it's an Anna Faris movie, and it's called.
You know all these actors and songs, and I don't know anyone that you're mentioning, but that's okay.
I'm doing pop culture, just like. I don't know.
Exactly. Okay.
So it's an Anna Faris movie, and it's called the House Money, and she basically becomes the leader of a sorority. Okay. And so she's like getting introduced to people's names, and so this is like the person says her name, and she goes Jessica, and this weird, and the person's like, she goes, oh, it helps me remember your name, and so. Although I don't recommend you meet somebody for the first time, you're like Jill, but like it is something that's kind of funny, and it does kind of work. But that's hilarious. Do that in your head. Don't do it out loud.
Yes. Okay, so the other thing that I think would be super important on your first day is to listen and learn about the organization, the culture, the environment, everything in your surroundings. I have to tell you, Jason, I talked to my husband last night, and I said, so excited, I'm going to be on this podcast with Jason. It's about your first day at your new job. I said, what do you think? What's some advice that you would give somebody? And he said, you never learned anything from talking.
That's right.
And I looked at him and I was like, wow, that's pretty deep. But it's true, right? If you're doing all of the talking, you're not learning anything. And so really listen and, add things in, make conversation, but you want to pay attention, right? And listen. If there's an orientation or you're meeting with HR or something, listen, ask questions, be observant.
Just want to say, okay, looks like there was some technical difficulties. Allison Bishop said to try reopening your phone. Melissa got it up and running. Hey, Sharon Harris. Hi, Yolanda. Okay. So, that's an important part, is to make sure that you are asking questions.
Yep.
Because, you have the experience.
Yes.
That's why you're there at the job. But you don't know quite yet how the office runs.
Right.
So, like, my career, the bulk of my career was in staffing. And so I was a recruiter. And even though I was good at what I did, I would go someplace new and start a new job. The office runs different at each place. So you have to figure out how the office is going to run as you're going through. And the only way to do that is ask questions as you go. Right?
Be observant, listen. I was an elementary school principal, and typically in our district, every 4 to 5 years, you'd be moved to another school. And I would listen to the staff, listen to the parents, make observations, because although I was good at my job, it was a new environment and I didn't know everything.
Yeah.
So that's really important.
Well, that's a really good point too, Joe, because you're not going to know everything.
Exactly. And I don't think you're expected to when you're in a new position.
No, you have to, figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, Yolanda loved your quote so much, she put it in the chat. You never learn anything by talking.
Thanks, Yolanda. I'll tell my husband.
So, yeah, you want to ask questions and don't assume. And I think it's also important to make sure that you take note.
Oh, Jason.
Oh, look at that. Jill has
I am
props.
old-fashioned, right? I take notes on everything. From when I was a teacher, a principal, I write down everything. And Jason's more tech-savvy than I am.
I take a lot of notes in my phone on the notes app.
Right.
I have notes for everything. And once I do it, after I take the note, like if it's almost to like a to-do list, because once it's done, I delete the note, right? And then some things are kind of ongoing as well, like passwords or right, like so just have those other things. One suggestion though, guys, if you're going to take notes in your phone, please ask permission and let the person know that you are in fact taking notes on your phone. I will never forget the first time so my very first job in staffing. We had our staff meeting, and so the staffing company that I worked for was a fairly small company. We had like 8 recruiters, and we specialized in recruiting for human resources.
Okay.
So small company, so I had access every day to the president, and so I come into our first staff meeting, and I sit down right next to Jack, who's the president, and Jack says, "Where's your notepad and pen?" And I said, "Oh, sharp memory." Jack goes, "I have a sharp memory too, and yet I still forget things. Do not ever walk into a meeting without a pen and a pad. Go get up and get your pen and pad." I'm like, "Yes, sir." And from that day on, I never walked into a meeting without a notepad and a pen. I still, like when we have meetings, I will have my notepad and my pen. But there will be times where I will go and talk with Allison, and it's not an official meeting. We're just hanging out and talking. And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's such a good point." And then I want to make a note so that I can get it right.
Yeah.
The first time I did that in Allison's office, I swear I thought she was going to come over the desk and smack me in the head. The look on her face, I was like, "Oh no, I'm taking notes right now. I'm taking notes." And now when I do it, she understands what I'm doing. Right. And I often tell her, like, "What was that middle thing you said?" Because I want to like, get that right on the words, right? And so if you're going to take notes on your phone, please let the person know I am taking notes on my phone. I have some clients that do that as well. When they come to see me, and I'm like, if they don't have anything to write on, I'm like, so I do encourage you to take notes. You can do it in your phone. You could do it like I got scratch paper right there, But I think just writing stuff down to help you remember it helps, especially on your first day, because again, you're not going to know everything.
And you're getting so much new information. There's no way you can remember everything.
And writing stuff down keeps you from having to go back and go, "Okay, you told me before."
Exactly. Yep.
Write it down.
Yes.
Take notes. It's important.
Yes, definitely.
I think that Sharon says, "I can see Allison totally doing that." She's a principal. She was not real happy with me. She understands why I'm doing it now, but like that first time, she thought I was like texting her, not paying attention to her. I think that it is important to take initiative and introduce yourself to others.
Yep.
Even not just your team, but like people in other departments, right?
Absolutely.
Like you say, "Hey, hi, I'm new here. I'm Jason," right?
Yes.
And introduce yourself, and shake their hands, and make sure that they feel like you're there, and they should be welcoming you. But take the initiative and make sure that they know who you are as well.
So it was interesting you did this, and everyone that you meet typically do this.
Yes.
I am not a handshaker.
No.
I am an absolute germaphobe. And when the pandemic happened and we were all isolated, I was in my happy place. And it was
Almost did a spit
amazing.
take right there. And Jill's like, yes.
Yes, I'm an introvert, just everything. And I would struggle because people would always go to shake your hand.
Mhm.
And that is the thing to do, the polite thing to do in business,
Mhm.
socially, and everything. And it would really bring me some anxiety.
Really?
And so now when people do that, I keep my hands down and I say, oh, thank you so much, but I'm not a handshaker.
Do you fist bump?
No. I
Okay.
don't want to touch anything.
Jill's like, I'm not comfortable sitting next to you right now.
No, it's
Can
not
you
that.
please back up a little bit? I'd back up. I'd move out of frame. I can't back up.
But it's funny. And then people go, oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It was I was putting that stress on myself because most people are like, oh, no, it's okay. One woman just the other day, I said, oh, thanks, but I'm not a handshaker. And she went, you know what? Neither am I. I don't know why I do this.
Why am I trying to see it? And
Yes.
that's something, it's interesting, like, because when the pandemic happened, certain things changed
Yes.
in just social norms. And that is one of the things that did change, where people now be like, ooh, no, I'm sorry, I'm not a handshaker. But, oh, okay, cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? It was before it'd be like, there's something wrong with her.
Exactly.
But you don't have to feel that way.
Nope.
Or you shouldn't feel that
No.
way.
No.
Right?
And now I don't, but
Yeah.
I used to. We had one of the requirements was we had to go to high school graduation.
Mhm.
So I was an elementary school principal, but we went to the feeder high school graduation. And the principal stood on the stage in our cap and gowns, and every graduate would come up and go down the line and shake everyone's hands. My stress level was up to here because there were hundreds of graduates. And the high school graduates, they're nervous, they're excited,
Right, they
their
do that
hands
sweaty-
are
That sweaty
and-
palm, and you're like, ah.
Yes, and some of them are coughing in their hands, and I would be like, don't touch your face, don't touch your face,
Oh,
don't touch your
God.
face.
It's funny because we had the pandemic and we closed and then we opened back up and like we started to get endemic and then we started doing in-person networking events here.
Right.
By the way, guys, our next in-person networking event will be next Thursday, not in 2 days, but next week on the 14th at 3 o'clock in this office. I'm going to have, I always mispronounce your last name, Jihan. I am so sorry. My friend G is going to be here. G Heraday Ardanowski will be doing a presentation on LinkedIn optimization, and she is a LinkedIn consultant. She knows her stuff. So, and by the way, you're watching me right now live on LinkedIn, and you need to make sure that your profile is up to date. And not only will G be talking about how to make your profile pop, but she's also going to talk about the changes that are coming to LinkedIn. This month, there will be changes. In fact, they've already kind of started. I've noticed already. But she will talk to you about what the changes are going to be and why it's important that you are on top of it. So, 3 o'clock, my office, come see G do her presentation on LinkedIn. So,
I will be there.
oh, she's amazing.
And for you to say that, Jason, because I think you are the LinkedIn king.
I am an expert on LinkedIn.
Yes.
But Jihan is much better than me.
Oh.
You're the best, G.
Nice.
No, she is. She's awesome. So y'all come see G. But so the first time that we had an in-person networking event here, we had like 10 people show up, right?
Mhm.
And it was brand new, and we're coming out of the pandemic, and everybody's happy just to meet, right? And I did a presentation. I don't know what on,
Right.
probably LinkedIn. And so afterwards, everybody's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and everybody wanted to shake my hand, and so I shook hands with like 10 people in a row, like, "Hey." Guess what happened?
You got sick.
I got COVID.
Yep.
And it was like I got home and like later, and my wife Stephanie was like, "Are you okay? You're voice doesn't sound good. He goes, I've just been talking all day. I'm fine. I'm totally okay. By like 8 o'clock that night, I was like, I walked into her office and I go, I'm pretty much sick. I'm going to bed. And I got COVID. I shook, I don't know who had it or what, but like I shook hands with 10 people and got sick.
Yes. So it's okay if you're not a handshaker. Don't feel bad about it and just let that person know. And like I said, more times than not, I've never had someone say something negative to me.
Yeah.
So, just everyone's respectful.
So
yes.
First day, make sure that you're open to new ideas.
Ooh, absolutely. And not be critical.
Be open.
Yes.
You're in a new environment. You have new creative people around you.
Yep.
I think like oftentimes we get into that, at my other company, we used to.
Yes.
Especially if you are an experienced, rich job seeker and you're looking for work. Mm-hmm. And really what happens, that usually happens in the interview. Oh, we used to do it like, nope. Yep. No, we used to. Yep. In fact, like if you're not willing to learn, you're not helping yourself out.
Exactly.
Period.
Yes.
So make sure on your first day you are listening and open to new ideas. I think it's important to also to make sure that you show initiative.
Absolutely, yes. Because you might be working on something and you get finished early, and I could pop in and say, "Hey, Jason, is there anything I can do to help you, or something that I can add on, or and just offer something out there."
Yeah, that was my biggest. My biggest thing was, when I was an on-site manager. Mm-hmm. It's like I would start new employees, and it's like, what are you doing standing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you just standing here?
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff to do. Like, find stuff for you to do, right?
Yeah.
Etiquette. Every place is going to run differently. You need to follow the company's etiquette.
Yes. And every company is different.
Yeah.
Right?
So you want to find out, like, what are the rules for going on break?
Yes.
Or lunch? Or just
like I know the rule here. We eat at 12 o'clock. That's when Jason eats.
That's when I eat. If I don't eat it like on time, I get hangry and I get really grouchy.
Which was a shift for me, right? It was a shift for me. I usually would eat at 1, 2 o'clock. It's noon. Let's go.
Jill, you doing lunch? Let's go.
Yeah, right? But now I know. And so I adjust because I want to have lunch with you.
That's it. Yes, so our team eats lunch together.
Yeah, I love that.
And we just, everybody, it's like, you doing lunch? Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Yep.
Let's have for lunch. Yep. But also, too, I usually have a client call at 1. So,
yeah.
But I was laughing. I was thinking about my first day here. And I'm sorry, that was my second day here. My first day went fine, and but my second day here, Allison had a meeting,
right,
and she didn't really know what to do with me, so she put me in the food pantry.
Okay.
And so I started. Actually, I know the exact date, March 20, 2020. I started right when the pandemic hit. Mm-hmm. And so the food pantry adjusted really quickly to being mobile. Uh-huh. And so what we were doing was as we were going, we were building boxes mm-hmm. of food and stocking it, and just like people would drive up, we'd give them food and off they go.
Right.
So Allison put me in the food pantry, and she was with me for a minute, and she said, "Hey, I've got a meeting. Just, continue working. I'll come back for you." She didn't come back. And now it's like 2.5 hours later. I'm running up and down the stairs, getting new product. I'm sweaty. I'm tired. It's been 2.5 hours, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, can I leave? Like, what? I don't know.
Right. Exactly.
So I did leave, and I found Allison, and she's like, "Oh, I forgot you were in the food pantry." I'm like, "Yeah, really hot, and I'm gonna go outside because it was like March. It's cool out. I went outside to take a break because I was just so hot. I asked her later. I was like, "We don't have a meeting today, do we?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Good," because like I don't want the rest of the team like, who hired the stinky guy? Because I was like busting my ass, running up and down. Like I was sweating lots.
Yeah.
Like it was not good.
Yeah.
Right.
I think with that is the communication piece as well.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was working in schools and I'd send an email to the entire staff, and then every single person would respond all. It only took a few times, and then finally I said to the staff, okay, here's the deal. Please don't respond. I don't need 100 okays, 100 thumbs up. I don't even need 5. So just, it's all good.
That is the worst. It's just a huge pet peeve of mine.
Mine too.
Which is like, if you send me an email,
yeah,
right, I'm not going to respond to you. You sit next to me. Your office is around the. I could walk 2 feet out of my door and say, "Got it, Jill," and keep moving. Like I don't want to clog up somebody's email box just with an okay or copy that captain.
Oh.
But also too, it's just good customer service.
Yes.
Right, for me to just pop in and say, "Hey, Jill, I got your email, and yeah, I got you." And well, we did it yesterday.
Exactly.
Right, I sent you the talking point for today, and then it's like, "Hey, did you get it? Yeah, okay, great.
Yes.
Let's talk later," and then off we go.
Exactly. Needing clarification, thanking someone, all of that is good, but the whole respond all, and I'm going to assume you're an adult, you have a job that you're at, you got it.
Yes.
You don't need to tell me okay.
That's the next part. Express gratitude.
Yes.
On your first day, make sure that you're talking to your team and thanking them for their help throughout the day. It's your first day. You don't know what the hell is going on. Like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
Like, your team is going to help you, and you make sure that you are thankful to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then finally, Jill, I think it's important after your first day at work is to reflect upon the day.
I love that, Jason.
Like, think about what you accomplished that day. Your first day at your new job. Like you said, it can be nerve-wracking. What did you accomplish that day? And then, like, what can you do to help improve it?
Exactly. So it's funny you say that. I have always done that from the time when I was a first-year teacher. My principal told me to do that.
Really?
And so I would go home every day, and I still do it till this day.
Really?
And I write down something good about my day, something that I could improve. And so I have that balance of, wow, this was awesome. I did a great job at this. But the next time, maybe I should have done this or said that or, handled this a different way. And then I reflect on it. And it is powerful.
That's super cool that you do that.
Yeah, I love it. It helps to bring things back into perspective.
I probably should do that because I don't. I walk out the door. I'm done with clients. I'm done thinking about work. I'm thinking about, am I going to go walk to the neighborhood? Am I going to go to the gym? Like, I'm thinking about the next thing.
Right.
Because
you're always going.
I do have a lot of energy. Yes. Yeah. In fact, we were just talking like before we hit go, and I'm way high energy, and I know I'm too much for some of the people that work here, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's fun.
What happens? But reflect on your day. So those are hopefully helpful tips for when you start your first day at your new job. Jill, we are at time. So fun question for the day.
Okay.
What's your favorite candy?
Ooh. My favorite candy is the peanut M&M. So every night I have a little snack size bag of peanut M&Ms every single night. That's how I end my night.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love it.
How about you?
So I don't like sweet stuff a lot.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sweet enough.
Ooh. Alrighty.
Every now and then, though, I just have a craving, and I need a Snickers bar.
Oh, okay.
But if we're just doing if I do want something sweet, it's always Reese's. Reese's peanut butter cups are the best. In fact, every year Santa brings me one of those, clear candy cane things with the little bite sizes.
That's awesome.
Santa knows what I like. What's your favorite candy? Y'all let me know in the chat. Jill, thank you so much for being on today's show.
This was great.
Shake hands. Oh, no! She almost shook my hand. I did that on purpose. You're the best. Thank you so much. Guys, next week, Allison will be back, and we will be talking about star stories and how to use star stories to answer behavioral-based interview questions.
Sounds great.
All right. So I will be at the Workforce in Plano tonight at 1101 Resource Drive from 5:30 to 6:30 in Plano. So come see me. I'm doing Q&A, Ask a Coach.
Hey, we have a youth spring camp happening next week.
Yes.
For children 8 to 17 years old. It's an AI camp.
Oh.
March 12th, 13th, and 14th from
Okay.
11 to 3:30 at the AT&T Connected Learning Center. If any of you are interested to have your kids participate, just drop me an email.
And what's your email, Jill?
It is Jill Tokumoto at
Dallas.com.
Yes.
You're going to have to spell that. Girl.
I'm going to post it.
Okay.
How about that?
Jill's gonna post it, so be on the lookout for that. But that's super good and cool because AI is not going away, and we do need to learn it. And your kids probably are a little bit up on it more than you.
Yes.
So let Jill know if you need that, and come see me later this evening at the Workforce in Plano. And we will see you next week on Caffeinate Your Career, where we talk about star stories. Bye, guys.
Good day.